So, so ever since 23, I've kind of realized I kind of got this problem where I've supported people and I bought things from people that I've only really wanted to support because they were hoes, only because only that's the only thing that's the only thing that's the only well I only bought things from people because they were hoes. Not that I wanted to, just that I was influenced by the fact that they were a hoe and we can support them because they're a hoe, and you want to support your local hoe to kind of be on the hoe's good side. But um, let's be honest. I mean, there's people out there that support some of these celebrities and things that are, acting a certain way, dressing a certain way. They're doing it because they're acting like hoes and shit. And some people like that. Some people like the hoe culture. Some people like the fact that certain, celebrities are hoes and they want to support them. I mean, I'm one of those people. I got my demons and etc. But I'm one of those people that obviously I started liking hoes and stuff. I mean, one of the first hoes I started really liking and stuff, to my knowledge, that I can think of to this day was Tila Tequila. I think Tila Tequila might be conservative. I'm not sure if she's conservative or not, but I think she might be conservative, or she might be leaning towards conservatism or Christianity. But Tila Tequila, there's some people thought Tila Tequila was a big old hoe, and brought whole culture to different things and different things. Excuse me, different things on TV and social media. But I got to get into the habit that even though I want to support somebody or not even support somebody, I really sometimes you just don't want to support people, but sometimes you do support people. You're like, oh, they're a hoe, or you like what they're about and stuff, and you want to say, oh, I'll support them, but not every hoe needs to be supported. That's the thing about me is like I'm starting to realize not every hoe needs to be supported, even though I might like hoe culture and want to like women because they're hoes and shit. Not every hoe needs to be supported for what they do. I mean, if you like them as a hoe and you think they're a hoe and and doing what they need to do, then eventually some of their actions and things will end up probably hitting social media and stuff anyways, and you can just ravish in like the pictures or just the media that they put out, that says such. But um I don't know. We listen to this music that promotes the whole culture. We listen to this stuff, and sometimes politically and stuff, it doesn't promote the greatest, ideals or the greatest things. And we have to really ask ourselves, where are our values at? Where is our head at? And does this really hold the values and the truths of where we're going, or where you think you want to be going, to support the people that are acting like hoes, but they act like this and that, and support different, support other values and things that are not really right by you or what you believe in. Um, I have a lot of demons. I have a lot of demons, starting with my father's issues and stuff, which obviously kind of plays into the fact that I like hoes, or I do like hoes. Um, it plays into that factor. Um, so um, my mother is a big factor. Another thing is my mother's a big factor, when it comes to her dating relationships and how that's affected my life, and how she's kind of raised me or failed me trying to raise me, and how that's affected my life, and how some of the systems involvement in my life, when I've had systems involvement with the system, has also shaped and made my life, kind of what it is too as well, which just kind of brought forth, the introduction of hoe culture and hoes, and certain musics and behaviors and things that I need to kind of really grow out of or change about myself, or like to change about myself, that I've become a habit to, or a creature of habit to, because I was not taught any better, and I didn't learn any better to, change the ways and, situation of what I, was programmed to believe. So, um, I do like hoes. That's the thing. I like Megan Thee Stallion because she's a hoe. I like Cardi B because she's a hoe. Nicki Minaj is changing her life to Christ. she's trying to give up the whole culture that Nicki Minaj was doing. She's trying to give it up and be more Christ Christian and more for Christ, which is good. I love Nicki. I love myself some Nicki. I've always loved Nicki since she came out. I was always a Nicki fan. Um, but there's certain celebrities and things that really support this whole culture and just want to just dress a certain way, put out music a certain way, put out this vibe a certain way that um, you can support it if you want to, but in the end, does it really hold true to your values? Does it really hold true to your core beliefs? And I just wrote on a post too because I was wrestling with things since the last election about getting rid of Cardi B's album and getting rid of Megan Thee Stallion's albums because I have three Megan Thee Stallion albums. I have one of Cardi B's albums, and I've been thinking about wrestling with myself, just trying to figure out if I really want to get rid of these albums or if I want to hold on to them because they're just hoes, and I just like to support the hoes and the music that is supporting the hoes. Um, as I said, I'm trying to go Christian. I'm trying to become more centered in Christ. I am Christian, but trying to become more centered in Christ in my journey. I'm trying to become more centered in conservatism, to be more conservative, as I was for a period of time led away from, my upbringing of Christ and stuff as a child, and kind of got involved with things thanks to the system and etc. and thanks to influences of other people saying that they were going to be there for me and my friends, and it just didn't turn out to be exactly how it was supposed to be, and they got me out to come out and say some things or do some things that I just don't I now never no longer agree with for myself. um but whole culture is definitely a thing, and it definitely plagues everything that we do. And I am not going to sit there and lie that I like a lot of celebrity hoes, or I like certain people because I think they're hoes, or support some people because I think they're hoes. I mean, some people got support from me a little bit because I think they're hoes and stuff too. But some of that could be speculation. Some of that could be what people say because they do want them to be hoes. Because some people support the whole culture, and some people, are about that life. Or just hoping that they can be because they could get a quick fix and then be done with it at that point. But um, I have a lot of demons. I mean, I have a lot of brothers and sisters because my dad was a hoe. My dad slept around with all our mothers and created all these brothers and sisters and half siblings I have on my dad's side that according to my mom, he wanted to make his offspring. He wanted to sow a seed. With many different women, and have all these kids that you know obviously I have a lot of he was kind of being a hoe and stuff, and that's how I got a lot of half siblings and siblings that I don't talk to, and I have a lot of family issues and stuff with, is because my dad was obviously a hoe, and I'm like my father, I'm like my mother, unfortunately, and that means I still got a lot of demons in me because I'm like both my parents, and both my parents had mental health issues, and they were both not really right. So they had mental health issues, and they both had their issues. My mother's like the only person in my life, or right now me and my mom are on hiatus, but my mother was a person I was talking to in my life. Right now it's just kind of a break, but whether we go forward from here, I don't know. But you know, um, just the fact that neither of my parents really taught me fully right or what to do and etc. And it was the system. It was different places in and out of the system teaching me this and that, and I know different things that I was taught, just that the messages are all not solid enough to really go by just one thing, because I was told so many different things or taught so many different things about, my upbringing, that, the message isn't fully clear of how to be raised or how to go about the proper way of being raised. Because, the system, too many people in the system had, their hand in the pot to try to, make, help me grow and change and evolve into the adult that I am today. Um, but I'm still an adult, and I'm still a grown person, and I'm like, I'm more than a grown person. I'm an adult, who lives on my own and, pays my own bills and stuff like that. I live in the Torrington Housing Authority. And for many people that don't know, I live in the Torrington Housing Authority. So I know what it's like to live in a housing authority and have to struggle with that life. But um, yeah, I mean, the other thing I wanted to say is I come on here and say I do like hose. Hose is a problem. Hose is a thing, and it's part of my demons. So